Imagine if we would have had that kind of destruction in the world today, in Hawaii today. If we had a disruption of food, 80% of the food that we can buy from these stores, 80% is brought here from somewhere else. And if there's a disruption in that transportation, there's chaos in our society. And right here, just at the center, that day, people were lined up. It took 2 and 3 hours for people to get back down the hill towards the ocean areas after the tsunami had passed. But at that center, the newspapers didn't report this, but at that center and many other places on this hill, people were in chaos, people were afraid, people were irritable, buying the last piece people didn't know. Yeah. So we have to realize that what will protect us from chaos is farming. Because that's the basic need that we have, water and food. And that's what this organization is about. Our local focus, as long as I'm interim president anyway, will be in education, so that we can learn how to do correct farming principles, so we don't have to use pesticides in great abundance at any rate, and the other kinds of chemicals that that normally are used in large corporate farming settings in terms of fertilizers. We will learn how we can use the natural way food grows in nature to grow food, and we will learn this and learn it and share education as time goes on. So these monthly meetings, we really are going to make them an opportunity to learn something. And today we'll have a farmer share his experience, and we'll have a few other things as well that will be interesting. So that my hope is that when we leave the meeting, we go home with something that we can use or think about or share with somebody else, and everybody will feel 100% satisfied at our meetings. We also are working on insurance programs so that we can use the large base of the membership of the organization as a way to help ourselves in lowering insurance rates and getting good coverage in everything from dental and vision, which we have today, to other types of insurance, health insurance, automobile insurance, crop protection insurance, which we hope to have in the days to come. So without any further ado, we're going to have a message read by Lynn Flaming, one of our board members and our secretary. This message is by the Hawaii Farmers Union State President, Eden Perk. Thank you very much.
So aloha kakao. Just wanted to thank you all for your energy and mana'o in helping to grow the Hawaii Farmers Union. I'll be thinking of you and with you in spirit as you meet in Maui this evening. As we rapidly grow rigorous roots and shoots across the state, we can feel that our solidarity will be the change that ushers in the shift to a regenerative agriculture, remobilization, and everything in our Hawaii Farmers Union mission statement. As a Hawaii Farmers Union member for over 6 years, I am increasingly proud to be part of an organization that is really an example of what democracy looks like. The dynamic, radically progressive, grassroots-led policy is what distinguishes us from other farming organizations and what makes us effective. She writes this from the 108th Annual Convention of the National Farmers Union, which took place in South Dakota, and our Vice President, Lindy Morgan, was representing us there. We are the newest branch of the venerable oak tree that is Farmers Union, and we have deep roots to draw from. Vincent will share with you, as he has, our history, news, and the framework we've established, including our committees, membership and outreach, legislative, education, and cooperative, and soon farmers markets. I'm really looking forward to hearing your ideas and solutions for growing in all these important areas, and with our intention to hold our annual meeting next fall on Maui. So, next annual meeting on Maui. I look forward to meeting you in person, and then if not sooner, again, mahalo, nui loa, Eden.
All right. Vincent's going to share some words on producing food and the common values associated with producing food.
All right. Mahalo. As you know, or folks that know me know that I'm a farmer. My wife and I, we have a family farm, an urban family farm. And one of the biggest You know, I've shared before in front of the council that farmers, and anybody who's a farmer here shares the same value. We want basically the same things. We want abundant, vital yields. We want to lower our inputs. And we want to put protocols in place that leave our soils in a place to go back into to produce again. And so, with that, we're not looking to create any kind of polarity here. You know, we're looking to, it's not us versus them. It's called being clear about what we want to see for ourselves, our families, and our community through our agricultural system. That's all. Real simple, you know. One of the beautiful things that, that occurred recently in the National Convention in South Dakota that Lynn spoke about was our Vice President going there, Lady Morgan. And she did a really neat thing. She was down on the convention floor and she affected policy. As a first-time conventioner, she affected policy on the floor. And what the policy spoke to was the creation, what was changed to be put into the now the Farmers Union policy. The creation and implementation of safety standards to protect children from exposure to pesticides. Pretty neat stuff. Yeah, pretty neat stuff. So, you know, let me give you an idea of what it would take to change Farm Bureau policy. Now, Farm Bureau policy, I sat on the board of Farm Bureau for 3.5 years, so I know a little bit about Farm Bureau. As a matter of fact, we have the pleasure of having a Farm Bureau board member here tonight, who I feel is a great farmer and just, you know, doing great stuff and wanting to make a difference on that level here in the island. But in order for us to change Farm Bureau policy, we would need to get something through our county board first. And if you get it through the county board, then it goes into the state convention. Well, if you get it through the state convention, you'd lose all your hair, I guarantee you. After you get it through the state convention, you're one delegate out of 435 nationally. Try to move that mountain. So you get to see that what really gets us to springboard and be a representative of the Farmers Union here in the state is that what we're about. You know, we're about creating whole systems of agriculture. And the policies of this organization supports that. Farmers Union, one distinct difference between Farmers Union and Farm Bureau is that Farmers Union's about fair trade, where Farm Bureau is about free trade. Big distinction, you know. So it's not about making them wrong, us versus them. It's just about knowing who we are and what gifts that we bring to the table and what we want for our community, right? So that's what it's about. So we understand our missions, what our missions are.